Hello, fellow Health 425 students and public health majors. To get straight into it, I want to discuss one of the greatest public health threats that is threatening our nation today: adverse childhood effects, or ACEs. To recognize if a child or adult has experienced ACEs in their youth, there are 10 standardized questions that can be asked that I will have listed in a slide following that you can pause to look over. Now, experiencing ACEs are much more common than people realize, with about 67% of our population in the United States claiming to have experienced one ACE before the age of 18, and 12% claiming to have experienced 4 or more ACEs before the age of 18. Now, why does experiencing an ACE have such a huge effect on the overall health of a person and create a huge public health epidemic? When children are experiencing these events in their life, their body's physiology puts them in a state of survival, activating the sympathetic nervous system or the fight or flight response. These ACEs place that child in that fight or flight response repeatedly and constantly. This constant physiological state puts great stress on the body and the organ systems, which can halt the absorption of much needed nutrients for children who need that nutrition in their early stages for physical and cognitive development. It can even go to as far as changing how our body transcribes and reads our DNA to determine how our organ systems will function or develop. Research has shown that high exposure to childhood trauma, or ACEs, can triple the exposure of various heart diseases and lung cancer. There is an average of 20-year difference between the average life expectancy of people who experience childhood trauma compared to those who do not. Even though these statistics look very grim and overwhelming, there are ways that we can combat the epidemic of ACEs in our nation. 1. We can strengthen the economic support for families. 2. Changing the social norms surrounding family values in raising our children. 3. Providing childhood care and education early in life. 4. Enhancing parenting skills. Or 5. Knowing when to intervene to lessen the harm. With dedicated resources and thoughtful intervention strategies, we are able to prevent childhood ACEs from occurring, and even provide people who have experienced ACEs with the opportunity to restore what has been lost through the trauma. There are many different variables that affect trauma and the way that people experience it. And if we choose to look at trauma and look at these ACEs with a broad lens of perspective, we are able to understand how that can be healed. In conclusion, this is a problem our nation is facing, and it is up to us to recognize that problem and to realize that it is real. It is up to us to look at that problem and realize that we are the movement. We are the way that this can be stopped and the way that it can be healed. Thank you.